IMQ, solving the case of the disappearance of the Beaumont children. The Beaumont children, Jane, Arna, and Grant, are three siblings who went missing in 1966, and the case has never been officially solved. It remains open to this day. The children were reported to have taken a short bus ride in order to get to a beach near their house in Adelaide, Australia. The oldest child, Jane, was considered responsible enough to take care of her younger siblings, and her parents were not concerned. They left around 10 a.m. and were told to arrive back at their house at 12 p.m. Their mother quickly became worried when they didn't return by 3 p.m. The children were said to have been spotted with a tall man in his mid-30s. The children were supposedly playing with the man and appeared relaxed. They were seen walking away from the beach sometime later. The police estimate around 12:15 p.m. A shopkeeper reported Jane Beaumont had bought pasties and a meat pie with a £1 note around the same time. Police viewed this as further evidence that they had been with another person, for two reasons. One, the shopkeeper knew the children well from previous visits and reported that they had never purchased a meat pie before. Mrs. Beaumont had also given the children only enough coins for their bus fare and food and had not given them a £1 note. Police believe it had been given to them by somebody else. At about 3 p.m., the children were seen walking alone away from the beach along Jetty Road, in the general direction of their home. The witness, a postman, knew the children well, and his statement was regarded as factual. He said the children had stopped to say hello to him and seemed cheerful. Police cannot determine why the reliable children, already 3 hours late, were strolling alone and seemingly unconcerned. This was the last confirmed sighting of the children. It has been suggested that the postman was mistaken on when he encountered the children, and that he actually met them before noon. Mr. and Mrs. Beaumont described their children, particularly Jane, as shy. For them to be playing confidently with a stranger seemed out of character. Investigators theorized that the children had perhaps met the man during a previous visit or visits and had grown to trust him. A chance remark at home, which seemed insignificant at the time, supports this theory. Arna had told her mother that Jane had got a boyfriend down the beach. Mrs. Beaumont thought she meant a playmate and took no further notice until after the disappearance. Now, besides a few suspects, the case has never been solved, and no one has ever been charged with the kidnapping. The truth of the matter, however, is that the person who committed the crime is actually Bevan Spencer von Einem, the perpetrator of the Richard Dallas Kelvin murder. There is a mound of evidence, including a highly credible witness, who related a conversation in which von Einem boasted of having taken 3 children from a beach several years earlier and said he had taken them home to conduct experiments. He said he had performed surgery on each of them. Not only this, but Einem also matched the police sketch of the suspects in the crime. The evidence against this man is overwhelming, although he is already in prison for life for the murder of Richard Dallas Kelvin. Although there are a few arguments against him being the person who committed the crime, such as that he was younger than the suspect seen with the children in 1966. The suspect was reported to have been in his late 30s, whereas von Einem was about 20 or 21 at the time. Although this could have been an overestimate for the man on the beach, as it could be very easy to confuse a 21-year-old with a 30-year-old. However, what is more interesting are the reports that Einem was a member of a secret society that would kidnap and murder young men and children. Now, this is interesting because of the connection with the Finders cult, a bunch of men who would kidnap children for the reason of sex trafficking and partaking in satanic practices, such as sacrificing a goat and presenting its severed head to a child. There have been reports of child abuse, dealings in child pornography, etc. They were said to have drugged and forcefully taken children, although they haven't been reported to have murdered the children. Now, this cult would sell children to people all over the world, so it would be safe to assume that there would be different sects of the group all over the world, including in Australia. This is substantiated by the family cult, also known as the Santiniquetan Park Association. This was a New Age group that formed in the mid-1960s. That is known to have dealings in LSD, possibly being used as a mind control substance, and possibly even child farming, although there have been no police reports claiming this. If this is true, it would make sense that these could be the people that Einem was working for. It was formed around the same time as the kidnappings, and would be the perfect way to sell these children to the finders. What's more is that this cult is purported to have ties to the CIA. This would provide a perfect means of brainwashing, as was proven in the experiments run by the inquire program, which was also running at this time. This provides a perfect way to cover everything up as well. As the CIA was a government agency, it would be fairly simple for them to cover everything up and claim it was an experiment, or maybe not even claim anything at all. This provides a perfect system for child smuggling. Ivan, the lowest level on the hierarchy, kidnaps the children. He then takes them to the family, where they are drugged and the brainwashing process is primed with psychoactives such as LSD and diazepam. Then they are shipped off discreetly to the United States, where they drug them even more, forcing them to forget their lives up until that point. Then, when they are ready, they are sold to any number of child settings around the world. It is my theory that the man responsible for the kidnapping of the Beaumont children, and also supposedly responsible for the kidnapping and murdering of other children, has ties to this cult, and would kidnap and sell Australian children to people in other countries with the finders cult. I believe the Beaumont children to be one such case, as the remains of the children, nor the children themselves, have never been found. I think that it is entirely possible the Beaumont siblings are in some foreign country, and after a lifetime of being abused and possibly brainwashed, they are probably entirely different people. In conclusion, I believe the Beaumont children to be alive, however no longer who they used to be, in a foreign country after being sold on the black market by the finders, an American cult which would kidnap and sell children as well as partake in satanic practices. With this evidence, I can confidently say, case closed. I am now speaking directly to my viewers. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this case, please suggest more cases in the comments below or by emailing my email in the description. Also, I would just like to send a quick message to T. I saw your newest video. It was brilliant. I hope you will consider reforming 13-letter society. Thanks for watching.